go, my fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy Uzumaki Hadou, and today I'm here with a random conversation about gender in gaming. This kind of ranting, this going off, it's just something I've been thinking about. It's just been on the mind. So I just got done watching What Will You Do? I really enjoy What Will You Do? So this one was about a gamer who was being harassed by other gamers. Now, you understand that it's a female gamer being harassed by other male gamers. And I've been thinking about this, and I'm like, wow, the media has been really kind of going after male gamers lately. For the last few years, the media has been really cracking down and painting the male gamers as savages and men that hates women and don't want women to play video games. And I watched this What Will You Do episode, and I was like, you know, I need to make a video on this because I just don't agree here. So you have this setup. Basically, they're in this electronic store, this video game store, and you have this gamer. She's sitting there, she's playing the game, and you have these two guys that has nothing else better to do in a gaming store or an electronic store but hide behind like this little DVD shelf and look at this girl playing the game. Was like, yeah, let's go over there, harass her. She doesn't belong playing video games. I'm like, what? You know, what type of gamers are those? You know, I have been a gamer all my life. I have met all type of gamers. You got your shit-talking gamers. You got the little kids that run their mouth. You got the person that looks like they don't play games but just eradicate everyone who picks up the controller. You got female gamers. You got heterosexual, homosexual gamers. You got all type of gamers. But I have even met gamers that was even somewhat a little racist. You know, it'd be like, hey, nigger, you can't beat me. Whoa, I didn't hear nigga, I heard nigger. But at the end of the day, I have never met a gamer that hate women. That's just something that's just mind-boggling. A lot of times I have heard a lot of gamers like, yo, we love to have more women playing video games. Now, I've been a gamer all my life, and I grew up in a very violent childhood. Games was there to really help me in very hard times. Even when I was a teenager, I hung out with a very, very bad crowd, a very dangerous crowd. And video games was there to save me at times. You know, it was like, I'm going to go home, I'm going to beat this game, I'm going to meet back up with y'all later. And believe it or not, I sit there playing video game for the next 8 hours and something extremely bad happens. And it's like, whoa, if it wasn't for this game, I could have been in that and my whole life could have been done. I would have been some common thug criminal. Even, you know, when I was going to college, I played tons and tons of video games. And, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, so video games is there. You know, video games has always been there when I'm depressed. It has actually stopped me from committing suicides at times. I mean, gaming has always been there for me. I mean, games has really helped me out in my life. So I love games. I really enjoy games. So one thing I want to talk about is kind of going out and playing video games. So I play Super Smash 4 competitively. It's basically a fighting game, a Nintendo fighting game. And man, it is awesome. So, you know, I go to tournaments and things of that nature, but one thing that is not common is seeing females there playing games. You don't see a lot of females there. It's tons and tons of guys. So I do go out and I go to one of my local gaming place and we sit down, we play Smash with a lot of people, and once again it's tons and tons of males that come out, and we finally have a female that actually comes out, and she's really good, dude. I mean, like, she is fucking great. I had difficulties beating her sometimes. I mean, bruh, she's great. She's up there with a lot of the other good males that play video games, that play Super Smash. But one thing I kind of want to talk about is how I treat her, how I feel playing with her, and what I see around with the other males. So, I'm a shit talker. That's just hands down. I talk trash. I'm always going to talk trash. I'm that person that would talk trash, get my ass whooped in a game, and still talk trash. I'm a shit talker. And there's other people there that talk shit all the time. You know, we guys, we say some foul stuff. I mean, like, hey man, I'm gonna break your ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you suck. You're not better than me. You know, we have money matches. I had this one guy, he was like, man, I'll 3-stock your ass. And I was like, what? He was like, put some money on it. So, I put some money up. He put some money up. This man 3-stocked me, took my money. It was my milkshake money, so I couldn't get no milkshake afterward. Man, I was saltier than a sumbitch. I got 3-stock. I was embarrassed. But at the end of the day, it was a good game. We had fun. And everyone enjoyed it. You know, people were standing around, people was yelling. It was really awesome. It was really a good experience because it showed that I needed to get better. But I noticed that when it comes down to the female that comes and play the video games with us, I do treat her different. And the main thing is I don't talk trash to her. And I think personally the reason I don't talk trash and treat her like the other guys and talk shit to her is because I'm scared. I think that the media have painted men as these savages, and I don't want to be that one guy that's like, yo, you know, talk trash to her, like, bitch, you can't beat me, I'll crush you, you know, and hurt her feelings, and she doesn't come back and play with us anymore. That's like the only female gamer that comes out and play the game. And I don't want to also talk trash and one of the other guys like, yo, she's a female, shut the fuck up, man, you know. I think that's where I'm kind of a little stuck at, you know. Maybe I should talk trash to her just like everyone else, but at the same time, I don't want to come off as what the media has been saying, well, you're bullying women. You know, at the end of the day, it's a very competitive scene, and we all talk trash. That's just how it is. Yeah, you have some people that don't talk trash, that don't say a lick, don't say shit, sit down and destroy everyone. And you got people that just talk trash all day. And I think about that. It's something I stop, I go home, and I think about it. I look at myself, and I'm like, wow, I talk shit to everyone there, but I don't talk shit to her. And it mainly is I am terrified. And it's like, I was talking to a friend, and he was like, well, you talk shit to the guys. What if one of the guys stopped playing because you're talking trash to him? How would you feel? Like, I don't care. You know, he's just a gamer just like everyone else. It's like, well, she's a gamer just like everyone else. If she can't take the heat, get out, you know, get out the gaming store. You know what I'm saying? It deuces. And I'm like, yeah, you know, that is true. But I think that personally, like me, who goes to a lot of gaming tournaments and things of that nature, females are like unicorns. You rarely see them there, you know, unless they're with their husbands or boyfriends or something of that nature. You barely see them sitting there just playing the games. You know, you might see like one or two females out of tons and tons of musty men standing around. So, you know, my idea here is to kind of be nice to her, and hopefully more females will show up. But at that time, you know, when you think like that, that's biased and that's pretty sexist. And I'm like, yeah, this is true. I should start talking trash to her just like everyone else. I should be just as competitive at her just like I'm with everyone else. I know when I sit down and I play her, you know, we play a game and I barely win because, I mean, she is extremely good. You know, it's like I really, really have to try to win. A lot of times she beats me. But I noticed that, you know, I sit back and I'm like, you know, good game. You know, that was a really good game. But if it was a male, I've been like, man, this is bullshit. Fuck you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you can eat a dick. But my fact, you eat a bag of dicks, you know, because I'm sitting there and I'm angry. But when I'm playing against her, I'm like, you know, good game. And maybe I should be a lot more aggressive. I should treat her just like everyone else. And that's just something I kind of wanted to focus on, because even when I look at a lot of the guys, they don't badmouth her. They don't talk trash to her like we talk trash to each other. You know, it's more of a more neutral respect. It's more like our community protects the female. They try to create this safe place for these females, and I'm quite sure that is offensive to a lot of females. So, you know, one thing I got to definitely break out of is attempting to protect women and treat them just like everyone else in gaming. You know, I have to talk shit to them just like everyone else. If you can't take talking shit, then, I mean, sorry, but, you know, I got to treat everyone equal. And I think that's something that I have to work on myself. I think the second reason I don't talk shit to her is I'm scared that one of the other guys might take it the wrong way. Like, dude, why are you badmouthing her like that? Yo, she's just a female, you know? I'm scared that one of the other guys might get offended on it. Gotta take a quick sip. So those are the reasons why I don't talk trash. Now, another thing I kind of want to go on is, you know, gaming events and buying video games, period. You know, I have seen a lot of things in my day. I'm a big World of Warcraft fan. I was really hooked to WoW a very long time ago. And even when we go out for pre-releases to buy, to pick up our games, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, I have seen a lot of things. I have seen people in the freezing rain. I have seen men literally huddle together. I have seen people stand in the hot sun for hours, long ass lines. I mean, I have seen these things for people to go pick up video games, and it's like, it's rare you see a female. It's like maybe one or two females might be in a that's going to pick up the game. A lot of times when you see a lot of females, they're once again with a with their boyfriends or their husbands or something of that nature. It's rare to see, you know, a female just kind of there, multiple females there. I mean, multiple females there picking up games. You know, there was one time it was just freezing outside, and I talked about the one where we had a whole bunch of men huddling together, and believe it or not, I was one of those men huddled together. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, one guy came, he brought a blanket, and like tons of men just went on that blanket because it was so cold outside. It was freezing. I mean, it was so cold, I could barely feel my toes. I could barely feel my fingers. And I remember just crawling under a blanket with a whole bunch of men, just trying to keep warm till this store opens up and start handing out games. And one thing I noticed was there wasn't a lot of females there. I remember going to gaming releases, and someone opens up a little bin and start a fire, and a whole bunch of people huddle around. Once again, tons and tons of men. Watching E3, one of my friends came up with a game, and he says, spot the female in the crowd. And basically, when you see them talking about games and things of that nature, you have to try to spot the female out of the tons and tons of males that's sitting down watching this. And sometimes it's pretty difficult, but at the same time, it's tons and tons of males. And you go, well, where are you getting at? Well, you seem like you're going in circles. And yes, I am kind of ranting. But what I'm kind of getting at is some statistics that I've been seeing floating around lately. And I've been seeing a lot of statistics. So we got statistics that 50% of gamers are women. We also have some statistics that says 48% of gamers are women. I have seen statistics say roughly around 55% of gamers are women. And the first thing that came out my mouth was, what? Huh? What? Huh? You know, as a hardcore gamer, as someone that goes to a lot of gaming events, you know, it's like, I don't see these women that these statistics is going after. And it says, well, that's your own personal view. They did surveys and polls and things of that nature. I'm like, okay, surveys and polls. So one of the statistics I kind of want to talk about is they got male gamers and female gamers in the last few years. So if we look at 2014, there was 48% women gamers and 52% male gamers. So that's pretty high. Then we go to 2015, where we have 44% female gamers and 56% as male gamers. I'm sorry about that. 44% as female gamers and 56% as male gamers. I said, well, that's pretty interesting. Then we move on to 2016, where we have 41% are female gamers and 59% are male gamers. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting. We see a big bump in 2014, and we see it kind of go down from 2014 to 2015 and go down a little bit more in 2016. But there's even more and more statistics kind of floating out there. So I'm curious. At first, I was curious, how did they gain these polls? What did they do to get this type of information and things of that nature? So basically, you know, you went to this website and you put in some information like, well, I'm a gamer, I own this, I play this type of games. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting, but how do they verify these people? You know, how do they verify these people of playing video games? And that's one thing I would kind of ask. So another thing I kind of wanted to focus on here is mobile gaming and smartphone gaming versus console and PC gaming. So the biggest question I had was, what do you consider a gamer? You know, is it someone that sits down 5 minutes before class and play a quick round of Candy Crush? Or is it someone that goes out, buy a console or have a console or a computer and sit down and play video games? Is it someone that spends tons and tons and tons of money and equipment and play video games? or is it all of the above? And that's something that I'm really interested in, because according to peerresearch.org, 90% of Americans, over 90% of Americans own cell phones. This is not different. This is not different from the last few years. I believe last time I looked at it, it was like 92%. So this statistic here is the newest one that I found. It said over 90% of Americans own phones. So a lot of people have access to mobile and smartphone games. And when they add these things up about gaming, 52% or 41% of women are gamers, they're using also mobile and smartphone games. And that's where I kind of have an issue there. That's where I kind of cut the line. I'm like, well, is there technically gamers? Is a gamer someone that picks up a phone and go to the app store and play a quick round of Pac-Man before they have to go to the bathroom? That's where I kind of question, because in my idea, yeah, I do have a bias. My bias here is someone who sits down, who plays games. Yes, you could be a hardcore gamer playing phone game. I've seen Clash of Clans people sit down and play that game for hours on top of hours, spend tons and tons of money in it. And then I have seen people that's like, I'm a gamer, and play something like Farmville on Facebook for like 10 minutes. And like, yeah, I'm just a gamer as you. And I think that's something I want to kind of ask the masses. How do y'all feel about that? What do you consider a gamer? Do you feel that anybody who picks up a game anywhere, even if it's a mobile or smartphone game, you're just as much of a gamer as someone that sits down and play PC games like World of Warcraft or Metal Gear Solid, or play hardcore games on consoles? What is your beliefs on that? And I know I'm kind of ranting here, but I kind of want to look at something else. So when we look at some of these statistics says in mobile gaming we have 55% are women, where the other 45% are men. I thought that's pretty interesting. Then we have handheld games where it says 55% are men and 45% are female or women. And that's basically like your handheld, like your Nintendo 3DS and things of that nature. Then we have our console gaming where the majority are males at 60% and females are only at 40%. Now, once again, these statistics are bouncing all over the place. I mean, these statistics are crazy. I sit down and I was just looking at some statistics, and I was like, man, they just keep bouncing around. But one thing they're trying to say is women are technically half the population of gamers. And I'm like, I just don't feel that, to be honest, that is true. And it's, once again, that could be my own bias. That's because maybe I don't see a lot of women, a lot of females playing games. I don't see a lot of females going to these tournaments. Now, it could be a possibility that the female population don't go out and play, and play video games as often as males. Perhaps a lot of female gamers love staying home and playing video games in their own house, in the privacy of their own home. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that females don't go out and play. I just don't see them as often. I don't see them in the quantities of numbers as males. Now, once again, because I don't see them doesn't mean that they don't exist. But I think that these statistics might be correct, if you just hear me out for a second, if you're adding mobile and smartphone games, puzzle games, things like Pac-Man, textures, I believe that's what you call Pong, things like that on the smartphone. I think that will kind of increase their numbers. But once again, I ask the masses, would that be gaming? And do you feel that that is gaming? Now, I will say, my time playing World of Warcraft, I have met tons of females online. I mean, you go on vent, you get ready to go for raids, and there's a lot of women that plays MMOs. I have met, not as much as males, but that's the only game that I have met a lot of females personally. And a lot of times, I'm not trying to be offensive, but they're once again, they're with their husbands or their boyfriends, like, oh, my husband's here with me. So I always ask the question, you know, did your husband start playing because you played, or did you start playing, or did y'all just play together, you know? So I always find that pretty fascinating. So I think that I've been ranting long enough. Let me know what you feel is a gamer. Is it someone that picks up a smartphone and play a quick game, or hop on Facebook and play Farmville, or is it someone that sits down and play games like on a console or a PC, something of that nature? Or someone who spent hours in playing video games. You know, I sit back and I play World of Warcraft, and I used to put around in raid nights maybe 10 hours a night in raid. You know, now I don't play that much. I might put in maybe 8 hours a day on WoW, and I'll play something else. I don't play WoW like I used to. I might put in 8 hours and play another game for a few hours. But let me know how you feel about this in the comment box below. But that's all I have for you today. Please like, rate, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and thanks for watching. Matane.